you've been part of a Bible study or maybe even a mental health support group in the past, you've been watching these videos and you're wondering, well, why are these groups any different? Why do they work? Well, first off, they're simple. We've designed them to be non-intimidating, truly simple for you, for me, really any individual living with a mental health difficulty or being a family member or even a general lay leader to be able to facilitate well. And we are one of the only mental health support groups that provides a clear biblical and a clear clinical foundation to our support groups. And this is an important aspect of our materials because we believe that Jesus has to be included in the recovery process. And the hope that we find in him really gives us the strength to continue in our journey day in and day out. And each of our Grace Group curriculums are filled with practical tools that empower individuals to learn about themselves. They are discovering constantly, and they also help to reinforce professional care. We truly believe in an interdisciplinary approach and highly encourage individuals to have reliable professional support surrounding them on a weekly basis. And finally, this curriculum is designed in a way to guide individuals to self-discovery. This means bringing awareness to certain areas maybe they haven't thought about before, or learning new tools that bring about symptom relief. Our hope here and our desire is for individuals to really experience freedom, to grow, and in their time, see this group as a place where they can experience a sense of discovery. Now, you also may be sitting here thinking, gosh, I've been impacted by a mental health challenge, or I've got a family member who has. Am I qualified? Yes, you are qualified, and those experiences and those qualities will make you an amazing facilitator. And some different things that we want to focus on as you facilitate is this idea of leading with empathy and compassion. As you get to know your group, you are able to listen to their responses, to their questions. You listen to their heart. You can hear their pain, their joys, and you begin to lead with this sense of empathy and compassion. This is one crucial area to your facilitating process. That means that you have the ability to empathize, to feel with your group participants. And you're able to display compassion, which means feeling for your group participants. Keeping these qualities really at the forefront of your mind will allow you to be able to respond to their pain, their hurt, in a loving way where these individuals truly begin to feel heard. Now, because of the weight of this topic, we also find it really important for you to find a co-facilitator. There's inevitable heaviness that you are bound to experience, and leading together with someone else really helps you both avoid burnout and compassion fatigue. It will also really set you up for healthy group dynamics. It will set your conversations and your dialogues up to be balanced, and you will feel prepared maybe when someone from your group has to exit at some point. You'll have someone else there to help you navigate those sticky situations. Obviously, one facilitator does have the ability to continue to lead while that other facilitator can go out and check on that group participant. So that's just one example as to why finding that co-facilitator, along with avoiding that burnout and compassion fatigue, is truly important as we lead and facilitate these grace groups. Now, finally, many group settings involve various different styles of leading, of facilitating. And one thing that we want to really make clear is this is an opportunity for you to facilitate self-discovery. And it can be oh so tempting to put on the I am the expert hat, whether it's theologically, whether it's from your own experience and probably years and years being immersed in this mental health care system. We really want you to jump into that role of facilitating and know that your role is merely to utilize that curriculum to facilitate healthy discussion, to facilitate self-discovery for your group members and avoiding that building opportunity to teach your group members. Now, a couple of things to expect as you lead your group through education and tools is those questions may arise where they ask you to answer, almost putting you in the position of being the teacher. And that is a perfect opportunity not to deflect their question, but to open it up for dialogue and discussion and allow other group members to jump in and to share through their experience and even offer them an opportunity to allow for self-discovery. And as we jump into this facilitation, we want you to know that you will experience and to expect pain. And just as burnout and compassion fatigue are a reality while leading and facilitating, so is pain. The nature of these topics are heavy, and they're going to bring forth pain from your group members and probably even yourself. And as this sense of pain, this emotion arises, try not to ignore it and quickly move on to the next topic, even though it can be sometimes uncomfortable. Our other temptation is to either own it as a facilitator or to jump into that kind of fix it mentality that we discussed in our recovery lesson. That idea of maybe reasoning theologically, telling their group members or your group members what to do, how to fix it, and try to get to that bottom, that end point of what to do in order to minimize what they're going through. Here, we want to allow that pain to be present. And in a few minutes, we're going to walk through an alternative approach on how to respond to these situations that may evoke heaviness or pain during your group time. And as this pain becomes a reality, it's important to note as facilitators that we express empathy and we express compassion. And therefore, we really can carry the burden and the weight of what is happening to our group members. And we can easily walk out of a group session feeling discouraged. And right here, right now, whether you're sitting alone or whether you are sitting with your group, I want you to say out loud, I am not responsible. Say it one more time. I am not responsible. Because guess what? You are not responsible. There is so much freedom that comes when you reach a place of facilitating, knowing that you are not responsible. And just like pain will be a reality, to expect it, you want to expect the unexpected. As a facilitator, you will feel much more confident going into your group, expecting the unexpected and being prepared for the unexpected. Each and every lesson will bring new joy, bring hope, it will bring renewal. And there's also, like we said earlier, room for these emotionally weighted comments and dialogue. You may encounter an individual who's coming to your group, and maybe it's frequent or maybe it's a one-time event where they are exhibiting extreme distress. They're either carrying the weight of something that happened prior to the group, or maybe they're even triggered by a discussion that has come up within the group. Maybe they're inconsolable, and if left unattended, this situation really could cause extreme distress and take over the entire group time. So this is where really, honestly, the benefit of a co-facilitator comes in. Knowing that you're not leading alone really minimizes the fear of this kind of situation happening. So if this does happen, here are some general recommendations, really how to navigate the situation of extreme distress. You want to offer to take that individual outside, get some fresh air. If you're at a church, maybe another part of the building or another room. And here is a great place, especially if you've exited, a place to offer a simple and comforting prayer. And this is not a place for intense breakthrough prayer. That can cause a little bit more, I would say, anxiety. And so this is just a place to remind them of God's comfort and his peace. And finally, follow up with this individual after they return home. think it's good after an extreme situation like that, just to be able to, help them implement something as far as self-care to allow their mind, to allow their body to rest. So even encouraging them, go home, take some time to relax, maybe take a warm bath or a shower, allow them to feel like they can care for themselves. Secondly, in a group setting, there is always room for conflict, and an individual may be continuously interrupting, they maybe are cussing, sometimes they may be disclosing explicit information. So just as extreme distress can take over the group, an individual dominating discussion in an unhealthy way can make others feel unsafe in the group. So we definitely want to intervene when this happens. So this is a situation where you would want to chat with that individual outside of the group meeting and probably approach them with the same gentleness, utilizing that validating, that affirming, and that reconcile tool. You can really bring light to some of their behaviors, especially if they've been distracting and causing conflict, and ask if there's anything going on in their life, maybe at home or at work, that could be causing this individual to feel that way, to feel the need to act and behave that way during group. And many times you'll see that people have no idea that they're causing conflict in the group. And here's a point where you can utilize that church resource list, maybe to give them and guide them to another healthy outlet for sharing. We really recommend that interdisciplinary approach, utilizing marriage and family therapists, even pastors at the church, just knowing that there's another healthy outlet for them to be communicating these things so it doesn't dominate the group time. And if that does not help and the conflict behavior continues, you may have to end up discontinuing their participation in the group for now, so that they can take a step to gain further care and further support that really is going to benefit later on their participation in the group. And of course, if these conflicts become consistent, we really recommend you finding a secure support system within your church so that you have someone maybe on the church staff or leading a specific ministry that can be your point person, your contact, just for you to reach out to during these situations at church.